Good morning, traders. I'm Joel Elkhart.
And I'm Dennis Dick. Welcome to Premarket Info.
On today's show, we'll discuss the election with Obama winning. Also, we'll take a look at which stocks are impacted the most. And Mr. Draghi's up to no good again, make some comments, knock down the market. And not last but not least, we got earnings from Kraft, Time Warner, Agrium, and Soda. Well, Dennis, you lost the election.
I lost the election. Regardless, it doesn't matter who was going to get in. The market was going to go down today anyways because Mario Draghi came out here around 7 o'clock Eastern and said that the European debt crisis is starting to actually hurt Germany, which is the strongest country over there. That is not good for the overall market. So funny, if you look at the chart there of the S&P, it actually sold off when they announced Obama winning, but then rallied overnight, got back up, and was actually trading up at 1431, and then the Mario Draghi comments knocked the market right back down, and we're right back down this 1412 area where we bottomed at about 8 o'clock, or I'd say actually about 10 o'clock last night.
Yeah, looking at that overnight high, we did eclipse Tuesday's high, which is 1429 a quarter. Got one tick over Friday's high, which is 1431.50. So that whole 1430 area is going to be major resistance here over the next few days. Coming back on the downside, we are going to be testing Tuesday's Globex low at 0975. Below that, we're going to be back to your favorite number again, Dennis, 1400.
1400. We just can't get away from that 1400 area. We're 12 points away from there with the European worries. You wonder if we'll get down there and test it there today. What about Apple, Joel? Apple actually is breaking down quite a bit farther here in the pre-market as well. 573.20. It's down $7 here. It did go ex-dividend too, an ex-dividend for $2.65. So the adjusted close is 580.20. So, but anybody who took that stock home for the dividend is significantly underwater because we're 7 points below that level.
Yeah, your favorite stock. I have a few questions for you about this. The first question is, where are all the analysts that love this stock?
Where are all the Apple analysts that are coming out to buy the stock right now? Yeah, you haven't heard too many buys, and always the thing was, I thought the thing was always supposed to be to buy low, sell high, and as it was moving up, you kept getting upgrades. You're right, we haven't seen much from the analysts here lately. We haven't heard much from them. There's not a heck of a lot of support. We talked about this before, and I don't like this stock taking out and making new lows here because if you go back to the low from the second and the low of the move is 574.75. We are trading below that right now. That is not a good sign for Apple and for the overall market here. So I guess maybe a little more short-term pain for the Apple longs.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on the lows that we had in late July there, right around the 570 level. Look for a little bounce there. After that, I don't see much in the market until 565.61, which was our low on June 28th. Moving on to the stocks that are going to be affected by the election. Let's start with some of these healthcare stocks.
Yeah, some of your healthcare insurers might be weak here. WellPoint is one. WellPoint WLP actually reported earnings too, $2.09 against estimates of $1.83. But the stock's trading down. It's not good. Obviously, we know that Obamacare is not good for these managed healthcare stocks. So I would expect stocks like WLP, stocks like Aetna, stocks like UNH, stocks like CI to all be a bit weaker here today. But let's do a technical on WellPoint just because it did have earnings as well.
Okay, in the pre-market, we did hit a low of 58.50. We are recovering from that level, currently trading at 59.19. Looking at the chart, this whole 58 to 60 area looks very dicey here. You had the low going back a couple weeks here at 58.01. That was on October 2nd. I would keep an eye on that level. That is major support. You also have a low the previous day at 57.83. So if this thing keeps in reverse, I would keep an eye on that $58 level.
Other stocks that actually could be higher because of it would be some of your healthcare facilities. A stock like THC, A stock like, just going into a few of those, HCA would be another one. They are trading up a bit here in the pre-market. Like the HCA actually is up 50 cents here. Actually, no, it's up quite a bit more than 32.50. It's up over $1.50, trading 32.50 after closing at 30.93. So that HCA actually looking pretty strong here this morning.
Yeah, looking at the pre-market activity, you did get a spike here up to 32.90. We'll keep an eye on that level. That stock, that's actually been the highest that stock has been in quite a while. So really, that 32.90, 33. I'm sure you're going to have a few sellers kicking around there at the $33 level. Coming back on the downside, there's not a lot of support until you get back to 32. Another stock, Coventry Healthcare, is responding a little bit, up 43 cents in the pre-market. Very spotty trades here. I guess you got to keep an eye on 30 in that stock, Dennis.
Yeah, actually, I think you mean CYH, Joe, which is Community Health Systems. You said Coventry Health, which is CVH. CYH is up here a little bit, 29.12. It's bid out on very light volume. So, like we said, some of these healthcare facility stocks might be up. The managed healthcare stocks, like your UNHs and CIs and WellPoints, are probably going to be down today. Other stocks that might get affected here too are your defensive stocks. Let's talk about like NOC, which is Northrop Grumman. Obviously, if Romney would have won, some of your defensive stocks might have rallied here. I think they might be a bit weaker just with the Obama win. Lockheed Martin is another one, which is LMT. That stock's actually trading down. Maybe we should focus on the LMT. It's actually printing down at 92.5 right now after closing at 94.87, which was, I think, a 52-week high. So here's a stock that hit a 52-week high going into the election and is now significantly under pressure.
Maybe people that were trading that stock were listening to CNBC and they thought that Romney was going to win. But yeah, that stock is trading down in the pre-market. Some decent volume associated with it. Looking at the chart though here, looking at the dailies, there's not a lot of support here until you get to the 92.09 level. That was the low on October 24th. Let's certainly keep an eye on that. Below that, it opens up to the 91.40 area, but I'd be keeping an eye here on 92.09 in Lockheed Martin.
Some of your coal stocks like ACI could also be weak, and it is weak in the pre-market, trading down 80 cents here, closed at $8.66. Again, approaching the high of the move, and now significantly under pressure with those Obama win. I mean, some of these stocks were banking on a Romney win, which was surprising since InTrade had them at 72% Obama, but people that were buying these stocks ahead obviously were banking that InTrade was wrong and that Romney was actually going to win. Not the case, and these people are significantly under pressure this morning as Arch Coal's trading down almost 10%.
Yeah, it hit 781 in the pre-market, getting a slight bounce off that level. Looks like it's aiming to fill a gap that you had in this stock going back to the middle of the month when it gapped up. So we'll keep an eye on that, see if it can come to that area, fill that gap from 776 to 793. Should be interesting to see what that stock does. It's down quite a bit, though, but the volume with it is not very heavy.
Well, 271,000 though. It's got a few shares trading with it, so I don't think that's light either. First Solar, FSLR, which is another one that could actually react positively here. Clean energy, we know Obama's talked about that before, so now we have another 4 years with him. So a company like First Solar may get some short-term lift. I'm still not in love with this stock long-term because we've talked about the way they book revenue before. But the stock is lifting here, and if you look, interesting number and level on the chart, you know what I'm going to point out is this whole 26 area where we topped just above there in August, and then back in mid-October we topped out at 25.94. So I look at this 26 level as a potential area for some decent resistance.
Yeah, and it's only been able to get up to 25.46 in the pre-market, so keep an eye on that level, and I'm sure some sellers will be stacked up there at the $26 level. We do have some earnings out, though, today. With all the other news out, we can discuss some earnings here and talk Time Warner.
Time Warner did come out with earnings and they beat 86 cents they made, but the revenue was a little bit light. But the stock really hasn't traded. It's down. It's traded 200 shares, which is down 11 cents from the close, but bid 43.09. So nobody's willing to make a call here on whether they like these earnings or they don't like these earnings. So it'll be interesting to see once the session opens up. If the stock does go into rally mode, I want to make you aware of the high from Friday, which was 44.22. That is $1.10 up from here. But I think you start getting into these high 43s, low 44s. There looks like some resistance up there.
Yeah, well, I have a number for you on the downside here. You have a double bottom in the stock at 42.66 ahead of earnings. Hasn't come near there. That is confirmed by a low that you had back in September at 42.66. Excuse me, the double bottom is 42.61. Major support there. If it takes out that area, we're headed for this $42 level. But you got a nice area of support. The stock has also come down from 46 bucks. So look for support in that $42 area. Also, out with earnings today, the macaroni and cheese stock, Kraft.
Yeah, Kraft had earnings too. Obviously, they did the spinoff there a little while ago. Stock is trading up. They beat 79 cents against estimates of 69 cents. So a pretty good beat for Kraft. I've seen a couple shares tick up there at 46. I think that's maybe a little bit overdone. 45 and a quarter is where it's trading right now, which is up 55 cents. It's offered at 45.40. So looks like it might open over 45 here though.
Actually, yesterday's high, 45.29, is the level that I'll keep an eye on, currently trading right there in the pre-market. You also have a little high above there at 45.39, but really minor resistance point up till you get to that 46.20 level. Coming back on the downside, I'd like to alert our traders to the lows you had in the stock right around the 44.50 area. You had 44.40, 44.53, and 44.69. So let's call that whole area 44 double. So keeping an eye on those two levels in Kraft. Another stock that had some earnings, and they certainly weren't very good. Agrium.
Yeah, Agrium earnings not good here. They actually missed big time. $1.34 against estimates were up at $1.82. They lowered guidance for the next quarter down to $1.50 to $1.90 from $2.10. This stock is getting killed here this morning. Closed at 107.15, trading at 99.22. So basically taking out the last 2 months of gains in one mighty blow here. Trading below the psychological $100 level. This is not good for your other fertilizer stocks either. But let's first analyze Agrium, then we'll look at some of the other ones as well.
Okay, looking at the pre-market, you spiked down immediately to 99 bucks. And then you've kind of just for the last half hour or so have been hanging out above there, but not getting the wild bounce you think you might get after that kind of drop. This whole $99 handle doesn't look very healthy at all. You got to go back to this low that you had at 98.08 on September 5th to look for good support. So I don't know, Dennis. I don't know if we got a bet on this one, 98 versus 100. You think it's going to go up and test the point?
I have no idea on this one. This is in the middle of nowhere, really, to me. So, obviously, it can bounce around a bit. We just sold $8, so why couldn't it rally 75 cents to retest the point here? But, I mean, overall, I just think it's kind of broken. I'd be scared to just stick my nose out and say and buy this stock here. I think the stock could continue to drift lower here. This is a major miss. So, from a fundamental perspective, I don't like this company right now whatsoever. Looking at potash, POT, that is down in sympathy. Only 50 cents. But still obviously down with the Agrium numbers. Trading below 40 bucks, 39.90. That's a big number for this stock, this $40 number. You had the bottom back in late August. You had the bottom here in October. You get below this $40 with some conviction here, there's not a heck of a lot below it.
Yeah, that actually 4 monthly lows there, right around the $40 level. The immediate spike in the pre-market took us down to 39.80. It should be interesting. This stock definitely has to get back above 40. If it can't, oh man, Dennis, there's nothing on. I don't even want to tell you where the next support level is. But when it gets with something like this, when you have a swing number like that, a lot of times it might come back above and shake out some of the weak shorts off the open. But this thing really, really needs to hold 40. Other stocks in that sector, CF.
Yeah, CF Industries trading down with that report from Agrium as well. It's down $3, closed at 206.33, trading 203.61. Only a couple hundred shares, but you got to think there's going to be some follow through here too. And I would not be the least bit surprised if this thing continues to be weak and actually does approach that big $200 psychological level for this stock. I guess somebody was just listening; they just took 203.
Looking at the 200 is some minor support there. You have a double bottom from Friday and Monday, 198.57, 198.12. That's still $5 away from here. But this stock is, I mean, these stocks have been selling off ahead of this earning news from Agrium.
Yeah, some of them have. Obviously, this stock's been weak here for the last couple of weeks. I mean, Agrium itself, when you look at the chart on that, it really wasn't selling off ahead of it, but CF was weak coming in. One more I just want to focus on is MOS, which is Mosaic. It's down 70 cents as well. These aren't getting beat up quite as much as the Agrium is. But still weak here too. I'd keep an eye on this MOS chart. This 51.95 low is the low of the move. Obviously, you want to see that hold if you're going to stay bullish this one.
Okay, just going back to some of the stocks in the Big Ten. One stock I noticed a good formation in here. I'd like to alert our traders to is the double top that you have in AT&T 34.93, 34.94 from the last two trading sessions. Currently trading down near yesterday's low, but I think if you get back into the 34.80, 34.90, you'll start to find some good sellers.
Yeah, the stock chart still doesn't look great here. We have had an awful month for AT&T. After a WinX dividend back there in early October, it had 5 or 6 straight sessions of being down. Got a little bit of a bounce. Then you had that AT&T flash crash thing that happened, a week and a half ago where it ticked down to 33 really ridiculously. It's bounced a bit up from there, but still kind of hanging out. I don't like this chart really. I think you're right. I think you're seeing resistance start to form in the high 34s, and I think if it gets back up there today, you'll find more sellers.
Okay, well, here we are. We are coming to the end of the show here. The market is still basically trading within yesterday's range. 14.11 has been the session low so far. You had yesterday's Globex low at 14.0975. So let's just call that whole 14.10 area major support in the market. Where this thing can go back on the upside is a pretty good guess. I would say you have some minor resistance here at 14.15, which was currently where we're trading. We get above the 14.50, I look for us to go back and test the close at 14.25.
Well, that's our show for today, folks. Have a great trading day. If you missed the live broadcast, we will have a replay for you on the site around 9 o'clock. Have a great trading day. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.